Hello Forest Questers, and welcome to our third virtual forest school and another idea for you to try at home in your gardens. Now, when Wolf and I go out for a walk these days, we always take a bag or a little box with us in case we find anything interesting. So when I went out yesterday, I took along my little tub and picked up all the things that caught my eye. So here I've got a selection of little stones, some beautiful red leaves, feathers, sticks, and also a selection of wildflowers and greenery that were in the hedgerows. Now, I haven't picked any fresh flowers from people's gardens, but this one was on the floor, so I thought I'd pick that one up. And I thought it was okay to pick dandelions and daisies because there's plenty of them. And what I'm going to do today, and what you can try at home, is making your own Easter garden or spring garden. So here I've got an old tray that I've filled with soil. You can use a tray or a box or a tin or any container that Mum says is okay for you to use. Put lots of soil in it and then think about what you would like to put in your garden. So I've raided my garage as well and found lots of Easter goodies. So mine today is going to be an Easter garden. Some of the things that I found in the garage are pine cones, and I'm going to use those to make trees, a little forest. I'm just going to stick them in the soil like that. I've added a log pile, so it looks a little bit like our forest already. And I'm also going to cut some of the greenery from my hedge to see if it will stand up and be trees. Might not work, but I'll give it a go. And I'm going to use the secateurs, which you're all very good at using. So remember, we're going to use the smiling crocodile, not the grumpy pelican. So very carefully, I'm going to just cut some of this greenery, remembering that when I have finished, I'm going to secure the secateurs to make sure they're safe. So when I've cut some of the fern that I took from my hedge, I'm going to just prop it into the soil to stand up like trees, like that. You can use any bits that you can find in your garden. And then I'm going to use some of the things I found on my walk. So some of those beautiful red leaves. Here we go. They should stand up too. Isn't it going to work? Like that. Sometimes you just have to move things around a little bit to make them stand. I think that one's too big. Let's find a smaller one. There we go. Okay, and I'm also going to use some of the stones that I found to make a little pathway that I'll just prop in on the top. The great thing about this is that if you don't like what you've done, you can just take it apart and have another go until it's just how you want it. There we go, a little path. And then I'm going to use some of the Easter things that I had in my garage. So I've got some little carrots that we'll just prop in. I have a nest. I've got some little eggs which you might have at home to put in the basket, and some Easter chicks as well. There we go, all around the basket of eggs. I've also found spring lambs, and some Easter bunnies. But basically you can add anything you like to your garden, whatever you find in the garden, whatever you have at home. And if you wanted to make it a living garden, you could always sprinkle over cress seeds or grass seeds, give it a little water and just watch it grow. This is one I made earlier on using some fairy characters, giant pine cones, some shells which I happened to find in the garden, and again some flowers that I found on my walk. A little shell here could be a pond. I could put some water in there, or you could make one out of something else, like a milk bottle top covered in tin foil. But if you don't want to make a fairy garden or an Easter garden, you could use superheroes, you could use Lego, you could use farm animals. Basically, you can make any type of garden that you like. and we'd love to see pictures of them. So please, if you have a go, do send them to us.
We've been thinking this week about animals, the animals that come into our garden. Do you get any animals in your garden? I bet you do, but do you ever see them? We've seen hedgehogs in our garden, and we know we've got them because we've seen their scat or their poo on the grass. And then sometimes we see that the animals have made little trails in the garden, just like the animals in the woods. So deer and the badgers make little trails through the woods. Sometimes you see trails in the garden. So someone has set a trail up in our garden. Shall we see if we can follow it? This is the trail. It's a wooden arrow that someone's put on the floor and it's pointing in that direction. So what we're going to do is follow it and see where it goes. Aha! So in a direct line from that one is another arrow here. And look, there's another arrow. Look at that one. So this one's quite well camouflaged. So that's good if you don't want anybody else to find it. That way, let's go in that direction. Around the tree. Ah, so this is a bit different. This is not an arrow of sticks, but of stones. So someone's made a nice arrow shape with those stones. So it's going in that direction. Let's go. Aha, so this is interesting. A cross stuck in the ground. Perhaps that's the end of the trail. Let's have a little look around here. What can we find? All this foliage. Ah, look! Look what I found! Oh! An egg. Might have guessed, really. So this is a different sort of trail. With the sticks, they were in an angle or arrow so that we could see which direction to go. What we've got here, though, are stones. Now, they're not really showing any kind of direction, but what we have got is something very different to the environment around. So these chalky stones, there's nothing else like it around. So what we're doing now is looking to see if we can see another stone similar to that in sight. Aha, I can see one over there. Let's go. That looks like one over there. So that's the next one. Let's go over there. So obviously we've come from that direction. There's one down there. Let's go. There's one here. And in fact, there's another one straight down the passageway here. Good, so here we are. Let's look around. I've spotted the last one. Guess why? Ta-da! A prize. Yummy. That's it for another week. Thanks again for watching Forest Quest's Virtual Forest School. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks to the Easter Bunny for setting up a trail for me and for providing a couple of Easter eggs. Looking forward to those. Hope you have a really good Easter. See you next week. Bye.